so today, Tim, will be talking about how to create content that brings leads and sales, as well as traffic for sure. And I really love this topic because I work a lot with content, and I think it's really important to have not only social shares, but also traffic, leads, and for sure sales. And Tim, he has been involved in digital marketing for over 8 years. That's a lot, actually. And during this time, he had a chance to work with established companies, and launching new niche, and so like experimenting quite a lot. And right now, he is in charge of marketing and product strategy at Ahrefs. So you guys probably have ever heard about this tool, and I love it. This tool provides an awesome insights about backlinks, and they have they've recently added data about competitive intelligence, and so about keyword rankings. So thank you very much, Tim, for joining us, and so the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks a lot for inviting me. Let me share my screen. Actually, these slides, can you see them?
Yeah, I can see it perfectly. Can you make it?
I'm making them full screen.
Okay, I'll mute myself, and if you just need anything, just let me know.
Sure. Okay, so how to create content that brings traffic, leads, and sales. Basically, we're going to cover 4 how-tos today. The first one is about content marketing in general. Then we're going to talk a little bit about creating epic content, because I think it is really the key to successful content marketing. Then we're going to talk about the kind of traffic that doesn't fade, about the consistent traffic that you can get every single month. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about how to get leads and sales from your content. Before we start, just a little bit about me. My name is Tim Soulo. I'm head of marketing at Ahrefs. I was born in Ukraine. Here is where my terrible accent is coming from. And right now I live in Singapore, because this is where Ahrefs head office is based. And just in case you want to follow me on Twitter, or just in case you will decide to tweet something interesting from my presentation, I would love it if you could use my Twitter handle. You would totally make my day. Okay, so let's go. How content marketing drives growth. This is probably my favorite internet meme, because this is how I see myself for the bigger part of my career in marketing or content marketing. I was doing tons of stuff. I was super excited about all of it, but I had absolutely no idea of what I was doing, and absolutely no strategy. So basically, I was looking at what other marketers or bloggers were doing, and doing this myself. So they were publishing more often or suggesting to publish more often. Okay, I will do that. They were writing list ups. Okay. Expert roundups. Okay, let's do it. Contribute to communities. Submit to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Okay. Jump off the cliff. Okay, I'll do this. The results there were looking like this, and this is an image that I kind of stole from Rand Fishkin, because I really like this image. When you start promoting your article, when you have just published it and you're trying, you hustle a lot to get some eyeballs on it, you get this spike of hope, this little spike of traffic. But then as you stop actively working on promoting your article, this traffic usually fades almost to nothing. So you basically get back to where you started. This is what Rand Fishkin called flat line of nope, and I absolutely love this image once again. So how it looks like in general, how this kind of publishing looks on your blog. So when you invest a little bit of work, you push your blog, your traffic, your website, your business a little bit forward, but then it starts to fade. So you invest more work, but it fades anyway. So you invest even more, but it keeps fading. So basically, this is not even growth. This is not progress. I would rather call it survival, because as soon as you stop actively writing new articles and promoting them, it will fade to nothing, and your traffic and revenue will fade to nothing. So if your efforts don't add up, you're doing it wrong. Think about it for a second. So actually, the left side of this graphic is how most of my career in content marketing looked like. And then I figured something out, and I turned this trend into growth. So this is what we're going to talk about. And I will use our own blog at Ahrefs as an example, because as you can see, in 2014, there was nothing much happening on our blog. No, I mean, we were publishing like 2 articles per week quite consistently, but the traffic wasn't growing, people weren't reading our stuff, and we were wondering, why do we even waste time on our content? But then we changed our strategy, and right now we hardly publish 3 articles per month, usually 2 or sometimes even 1 article per month. But the blog is growing like crazy. It brings a lot of customers to our platform, and we're happy to do more of it and to scale it. And let's zoom into one of the articles to see how the growth happens. So first of all, when you publish an article, you get this spike of hope that I was talking about. When you send the article to your list, where you hustle like crazy to promote it, to get as much eyeballs on it as you can. But then instead of the flat line of nope, instead of fading to nothing, you can see the actual traffic growth. So this article was bringing us more and more traffic each month. And then at the end, we updated and relaunched it, but I will talk a little bit later about this. So we try to achieve this kind of result with every article that we publish. Because think about it, every article that you write should have a visible impact on your business. Otherwise, it shouldn't be written. And this is a very important thought that kind of changed my entire approach to content marketing, so I will say it again. Every article that you write should have a visible impact on your business. Otherwise, it shouldn't be written. And by impact, I mean it should bring traffic, consistent traffic, which then converts to leads, and which then converts to sales, which grows your business. So, okay, that was the big picture of content marketing and how to turn from surviving to growth. Now let's talk a little bit about epic content. And I know what you're thinking, because create great content advice is so overused that literally some people want to vomit when they hear it. But please allow me to explain what I mean, because I think creating epic content is the most important part in content marketing. Why? Because epic content promotes itself. Let me give you a few examples, again, using content from our own blog. So someone posted one of our articles to Reddit, and if you're familiar with Reddit, it is a pretty harsh community. They're usually very skeptical about whatever get posted there. They like to criticize it or make fun of it. But what I saw is that a lot of people have jumped in to this thread, and they were posting like raving comments saying that they love content that we publish at Ahrefs blog, that it is awesome and all that stuff. Well, think about it. There's no way that random people would rave about your content unless it is epic. So this is how it kind of promotes itself. And we got a ton of new readers from Reddit. And this was totally like zero effort from our side. So we didn't have to ask our friends to go and post reviews on Reddit and upvotes and all that stuff. So it was totally natural. People just love it. Here's the second example. You probably know this popular website, Growth Hackers, where some people share their favorite articles and others upvote them to the top. So basically, this is one of articles from our blog that got 38 upvotes, which got it to the very first position of the chart. And again, out of these 38 upvotes, there wasn't a single upvote coming from an Ahrefs employee. In fact, as you can see, it was posted by Veronica Fiskus, and I don't even know who is she. So I don't have any direct contact with Veronica. So probably it was one of our readers who posted our post to Growth Hackers, and other people loved it and upvoted it. So basically, in order to get a lot of traffic from Growth Hackers, we didn't have to do anything but publish a great article. So this is what I'm talking about. And finally, if you publish epic content, if you create epic content, even your competitors will promote you. So I'm sure many of you know about Moz, and you know that they have the newsletter called Moz Top 10, where they collect best 10 articles in the space of content, in the space of marketing and SEO, and send an email newsletter. And they included one of our articles. So think about it, we're kind of direct competitors, and they still promote our content, but that's because we published a cool article, they enjoyed it, and they just included it in their newsletter because it was cool. Again, think about it. If the content wasn't epic, your competitors wouldn't ever think of even like including a mention of it anywhere on their site, let alone sending it to their entire email list. So again, epic content promotes itself. And actually, I can reframe this statement and look at it from a different angle. Non-epic content is 100 times harder to promote, because if your article is nothing special, or even if your article is terrible, it would be super hard to make people upvote it on all these sites. It would be super hard to make people tweet it, because why would people tweet a terrible article? So this is why creating epic content is important. And I'm sure many of you have heard of this 80-20 rule of promoting and creating content, where you kind of have to spend 20% of your time creating content and then spend 80% of your time promoting it. Well, I think this rule is total BS. That's because there's no way to create an epic piece of content in 20% of the time. And then when you have this kind of mediocre article, no matter how much you promote it, the outcome would be pretty small, not to say miserable. So I believe it should, the rule should actually be 110 to 110. I mean, you should go an extra mile in creating an amazing piece of content, and then you should again go an extra mile in promoting the hell of it. Now let's talk a little bit about how we create epic content at Ahrefs. So on the right side, on the left side of my slide, you see the screenshot of one of our articles written by David McSweeney. And on the right side, you see like part of our email correspondence where we were discussing this article pretty much from the very idea and almost to the last minute before publishing it, because we wanted to make sure that this article would be the best piece of content, the most valuable piece of information that people in our industry have ever read about this subject. So I mean, epic content requires a team effort. Don't just give your writer an assignment and walk away. You should, if you have something to say, you have to participate. And if you have someone on your team that can contribute some interesting ideas to your article, you have to ask them for help. And the more people you ask for help, the better your article would be. So yeah, epic content is a team effort. Here's another example. A post on our blog titled, "I asked 235 people to tweet my article, and all I got is this cheerless case study." So think about it. To write this article, we have to first find 235 people, relevant people, then find their content information, then write personal emails to all these people, then collect some results, and only then write an article. So basically, writing the article is like, I don't know, maybe it took us 5 hours or something, but there was a ton of work on the background. Like, I think we invested 20 more hours to create this whole experiment. So this is the kind of work we invest into our content, and this is what means creating epic content and going an extra mile in it. And the results of this article, when we published it on inbound.org, again, we didn't have to ask like all members of our team for some upvotes, but the article naturally got to the top of inbound.org and stayed there at the top for 5 days. So basically, this is how easy it is to promote content when it is epic. When your content is nothing special, it will never get upvoted to the front page. And I'm sure if you have submitted your content to inbound.org, you know how many posts fall flat and don't get to the front page. So hard work is the foundation of epic content. I think with a few examples that I showed you, you get to understand how much work it is to create an epic piece of content. But also don't forget about all the basics. Your writing has to be great, your headline has to be great, you have to use visuals, you have to format it good, and all these other little details, all of which contribute to your success and all of which make your epic article even more epic. Okay, so now you know a little bit more about creating epic content that promotes itself. Now let's talk about the kind of traffic that doesn't fade. Let's go back to my example of articles. So first, there was a spike of hope where you publish an article and you promote it to your email list, you publish it on your social channels, you go submit it somewhere, and use pretty much any content promotion tactic in the book, so you get an influx of traffic. But then the traffic usually fades, but in our case it didn't, and actually it was growing bigger from month to month. So where is this traffic coming from? Of course, it is coming from Google. As you can see, this article ranks number 3 for the keyword research. And as you can see on the graph, it took us quite a while to get there, because ranking in Google takes time. But not only that, these same articles ranks in top 5 in Google for quite a few other relevant keywords. So all of which are bringing more and more traffic to our website month after month. So this is the consistent traffic where we don't really have to do anything. It just keeps coming to our site, and people are trying our service and becoming our customers. So Google traffic is kind of the only source of traffic that doesn't fade. But of course, you first need to invest quite a lot of effort to get to the front page and to stay there so that to get this consistent traffic. So how to create the kind of content that will get traffic from Google? How do you know upfront if your content is going to get tons of traffic from Google search or not? Of course, you do your research. This is the best way to make sure that your content will bring you tons of traffic. And I have a few pieces of advice for you. So the first one is you can research the best pages of your competition. And for that, you can use our service called Ahrefs. So basically on my screenshot, I entered the HubSpot blog, which is another great blog for marketing. And I'm looking at the top pages, at the pages that bring them the most traffic from Google search. And as you can see, the number 1 page that gets them the most traffic is how to create animated GIF quick tip. And according to Ahrefs, which usually actually underestimates traffic, this single article is bringing them almost 60,000 visitors from Google search. So these are highly relevant people. They're looking for this specific article, and I'm sure many people don't get 60,000 visits to their blog like in a month, but these guys are getting this kind of traffic with a single article. And this is pretty impressive, actually. This little koala shows what I feel about this article. Then there's another way to research if a piece of content will bring you traffic. So in Ahrefs Keyword Explorer, when you're doing keyword research, we have a report called SERP Overview, which shows you the top ranking pages in search results and gives you all sorts of information about these pages. So this is the SERP Overview, top 5 ranking pages for the keyword website traffic. And I see one impressive piece of content there. It's an article titled 10 Little Known Ways to See How Much Traffic a Website Gets. And according to Ahrefs data, this article brings almost 6,000 visitors every single month. And article titled 10 Little Known Ways to See How Much Traffic a Website Gets doesn't seem something too hard to outperform. I'm sure we can do a better article on the same topic. And actually, this article is almost ready, and we're soon going to publish it in a hope to get, if not all of this search traffic, but at least some of it. Okay, so you know how to plan for search traffic potential, how to know upfront if a certain topic, a certain article will get you some nice traffic from Google, and you know that you have to create an epic post. What's the last part of the equation? Of course, this is promotion. You have to get your article in front of as many eyeballs as you possibly can, because the more people will see your article, the higher the chance that some of them will link to it. And links is what pushes you higher in Google search results. So if you want to rank high in Google, you need more links. And if you need more links, you have to put your content in front of as many people as you can. So in terms of promotion, I just say do whatever works for you. If you have a large email list, of course, you will want to send an email update to your list and show them your article. If you have push notifications, use them. If you have large social following, promote your article to a social following. Community websites, guest blogging, interviews, whatever. Whatever works for you, whatever brings more eyeballs to your content, use this. But if speaking about ourselves, about how we approach content promotion at Ahrefs, we love to do outreach. Outreach is sending personal emails to people who are potentially interested to read the content that you have. And actually, I could talk about outreach all day, but I wrote 2 pretty nice articles on the Ahrefs blog. You can see them on my screen, and I suggest you to make a screenshot to find them later. This is how we do outreach at Ahrefs. I highly recommend you to check it out, and maybe later tweet me your thoughts about it. And the second content promotion strategy that we love here at Ahrefs is Facebook ads. Of course, it requires some money investment, but if you're talking about building a business, you have to invest some money if you want to grow your business. And in my opinion, Facebook ads, it's a pretty great investment because you can drive traffic to your website, to your content, which is pretty cheap. And it's up to you. If you want to spend a week on different free content promotion methods, which will bring you like 1,000 visitors, this is your choice. But if you can invest $100 that will bring you the same 1,000 visitors, maybe it would be easier to just spend $100 and then use all your time to create something epic. Okay, but there's a problem. Most people only promote new content, so they only promote the newly published articles. Why is that? They think that old articles don't deserve to be promoted because they are usually outdated. So you don't want to put your money and put your time in the article that is talking about things that are not relevant today. But if your content, if your article is updated, all you have to do is update it. What's the problem? And we're going back to my example of an article about keyword research that we have published. So you can see that when the article was initially published, that spike of traffic from our promotion was quite solid, but not too big. But if you look at the other side of the screen, this is the spike of traffic from when we updated and re-promoted this article again, and you can see that the second spike of traffic is even bigger. So actually, by saying update, in this particular case, I had to rewrite the article from scratch to ensure this is a piece of epic content that we already talked about. I basically created a totally new article, but with the same URL and for the same topic. And we re-promoted it to our list, to our audience, and with every promotion tactic that we use. But in your case, sometimes your article could be quite good. It would be awesome already. So you might just go through it, find a few little things that are not relevant today, delete them or change them to something else, and your article is ready to be re-promoted again. Because think about it, even if 100,000 people have seen your article, there's an entire world of people who haven't yet seen it. So basically, you can promote your articles, your older articles, almost indefinitely. So after knowing all this, are you sure you need to publish more articles on your blog or on your site? Maybe you can just go back, see which articles performed the best, update them to make them even better, to make them epic, and re-promote them again, because you know that they're good, that they worked for you in the past. Why cannot they work for you today? And I'm sure many of you know this guy, Brian Dean from backlinko.com. This guy is the great example that you don't need to publish a lot of content. You just need to make the content that you have epic and amazing. He has like, I think 40 articles on his blog, or maybe even, I don't know, 30 something. And his blog is a 7-figure business today. So basically, Brian Dean is doing the things that I was just talking about, and it works for him like a charm. Okay, so we're getting to the last section of my presentation, how to get leads and sales. And I will be pretty quick here. I have only 2 simple tips for you. The first one is that you should target the right keywords. So let's get back to the content that brings the most search traffic to HubSpot marketing blog. And as you see, most of their articles are not really relevant